Hi guys, Alaska Crafty Gal here. We've all got them, right? Scraps and balls of yarn left over from other projects. Yes, we do. One of my goals this year is to work my stash. I'm going to crochet my stash. I'm not going to buy a single skein of yarn this year. Not one. I have plenty. I have plenty of yarn. And as you all know, I've got all of this. I'm going to be real with you guys right now. My craft room is a mess. But I've got all of this. I've got dog toys. I've got projects in all these bags. The blanket I never finished. But yeah, I don't mean to make you sick. I'll move slow. But I've got all of this. I've got this whole 5-drawer dresser plastic compartment, all cotton yarn, all of those drawers. I've got all of this that I've been using, projects I never finished. It's everywhere. I've got literally 3 big, like the comforters that you buy, your bedding. People will give me those bags because I always say, save your bags. I've got 3 big bags of that. I've got all of this stinking yarn. And I have plenty to last me, all of this. I mean, those of you that have been on my craft room tour know how much yarn I have. Fabric everywhere. I've been crafting like a mad woman, but I've just got it everywhere. This is the bag that all of those balls over there have come out of. But I've got another bag underneath. That's all baby yarn. I just have plenty. There is no reason for me to be buying any yarn. None. I have 2 packages of white there and then pillow forms. But I have little scraps there. I've got yarn here. And cotton yarn. And yarn, as you guys know. So, I have plenty. So I have no excuse. No excuse for buying yarn. I need to work on using my stash. So 2020 is the year of crocheting my stash. Yes, I still have my Christmas lights up. I got to take them down. This whole entire year, I have decided I am not buying one single skein of yarn. I don't care how bad I want it. I don't care that it's new. I don't care if it's the latest and greatest thing. Like I said, none of my money I earn or am gifted or anything like that is going towards purchasing yarn. I am going to crochet my stash. I have lots of plans for 2020. 1, I am going to do a lot more charitable crochet. I've always done charitable crochet, but I'm going to commit and do more. I want to do more for my community, as well as continue to do the hats for kids and the anti-bullying hat not hate if they do that again this year. But I want to do more for my local community. I want to just be a more charitable person. I think if, everybody was more charitable, just any way that you can be, just makes the world a better place anyway, So that is one of my goals several of my goals right there. But I also am going to sew my stash. As you know from some of my fabric hauls in the past, I have a lot of fabric, and I'm going to continue making my bags and trying to sell those and you know, earn a little bit of money that way. So definitely sewing my stash. Now, like I was explaining to some family members and stuff, because they were like, well, what about if we gift you yarn? What about your friends that give you yarn? If it's given to me by a friend or a birthday gift from my kids, that's fine. It's not my dollars purchasing the yarn, you know what I mean? Or fabric for that matter. My mom sends me fabric that she gets, so that's awesome. But I'm just going to be more about utilizing what I have. There's no reason for me to, I mean, it's all great to have a yarn stash. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not condemning anyone clearly that has, because I've got quite a large one myself. But I have a goal. I have a goal, but even if I don't live up to that goal, that's okay. My point is I'm going to use what I have. So I have this little scale that I use to measure, to weigh stuff before I go to the post office, so I can give people an accurate amount, fair pricing, when I go to the United States Postal Service website and price how much something's going to ship. I weigh it. And if weighing is, I have this is going to sound crazy to you guys, a 10,000 gram goal for this year. Now, 10,000 grams, how many skeins of yarn is that? Well, for instance, let's take a Red Heart Super Saver. It is, oops, get this one. A regular Red Heart Super Saver, like variegated, is 141 grams. 10,000 grams goal I have for this year. Now, I know that is a ton of yarn. I don't care if I reach the goal or not. That's just my goal. And the whole point for 10,000 is I am not allowed to buy one skein of yarn until I have used 10,000 grams of yarn in my stash. It might take me 2 years. I don't know. I don't care. But I will not buy one single skein of yarn until I have used up 10,000 grams of yarn. And for things like this, when I'm making a project, I weigh it on my scale, and whatever it says the grams is, let's see, for instance, this one is 125 grams. 125 grams of yarn right there. So that's 125 towards my 10,000 grams of yarn used. Now, what about projects I've already made this year? For instance, I have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hats so far. Because I've already used the yarn on this, I just weigh the hat. Okay, that one only weighs 38 grams. This one's a little thicker, has a little bit more yarn. What is that one? 79. Okay, so I literally am just weighing my projects that I've already made. What is that one? 60. Yeah, this one is a double strand held together. That one's 82. So I literally am just weighing the stuff I already made. But other than that, I just measure the ball first, and then as I use it, I will, like, say I use this one and I still have a part left over. I measure it before and after and just take the difference and use that as my grams used. So yeah, crochet my stash, folks. That is one of my goals. And like I said, another goal is to still have Christmas things up. Be more organized. Clearly you can see my room is a hot mess. I'm going to be more organized. My beautiful stepdaughter gave me this during the Christmas holiday. It's got 8 storage cubes, but she gave me this. I am going to clean it up, dust it up, put it over here on this table where this red table is. I'm going to clean up this area, move the dog toys, and put it over here, and that is where my fabric will go for my sewing. In my face, I got to use it, right? So I'm really excited to do this. I know I don't have a ton of goals. I don't have a bunch of different, I don't have a whole list, but I do have, I wrote it all down. I can't find the notebook I wrote it in. Go figure. Disorganized, right? So I'm going to be more organized, utilizing my stash, and that's all of my stash. Fabric, yarn, and my card making supplies. I love making handmade cards. Well, I have a bunch of store purchased cards that I've just had over the years. You know, you buy a box of cards, use 3 or 4, and then they sit, right? So I got to use up those first, but I want to get back into my card making, my scrapbooking, all of that stuff. So that's my biggest goal for this year. Using my stash, crocheting my stash, sewing my stash, using up my card making supplies stash. I also have a goal of obviously being more charitable, so that's my second one. And then utilizing scraps. As you all know, I hate waste. So I'm going to be doing more things like this, my strip blocks, you know, using up my strips, things of that nature. So that's my third goal. My fourth goal, trying some new things. So I found these. I have 2 sets. I found these at a thrift store, brand new. They're bag handles. I've never attached these to anything before, so I got some bag handles. I'm going to try some new things for the bag handles. So trying new things, experimenting with new things, new patterns, stitches that I haven't done before, getting out of my comfort zone regarding sewing and crochet, which is always fun to learn something new. It's always a challenge at first, but it's also exciting because once you get it down, it's ingrained. You know, I have certain patterns I have trapped in my memory forever now but I was afraid to try them at first, you know. So that is my other goal. And I think that was it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, that wasn't it. Completing projects. I am the worst at starting projects and not finishing them. I mean, I do eventually, as we all know. I do eventually. But completing projects. I have 2 blankets in the works that, well, 3 now because my Christmas blocks I started at Christmas. So I have 3 blankets in the works. And I am not allowed to start another blanket until I finish those 3. You know, I want to be more focused. Like everybody, I see new patterns. I see everything everybody else is doing. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. I'm going to try that. Oh, that's cute. You know, I'm always going to do the little projects in between my big blanket projects just because blankets are boring. You know, they get boring to me, repetitive and boring. So I will always make hats in between. I love to make the little Christmas ornaments like the paw prints and the angels that I made this year. I want to still make those throughout the year because I think next Christmas or 2020 Christmas, I want to go to all of the nursing homes in my area and bring all of the residents a Christmas card and a little ornament and just let them know, you know, someone is thinking of you. I would love to teach somebody how to crochet. I would love to whether it be young, old, it doesn't matter to me. I would love to teach somebody the skill of crochet. Yeah, I just want to do more thoughtful things for people. I mean, I don't know. You guys know what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying. Try new patterns, things like that. Yeah, so those are some of my goals. I want to finish my project. Oh, I have 4 blankets in the work. Remember that polyester quilt top? I want to finish that. I have a perfect backing for that blanket, so I need to finish that. Yeah, so I want to finish. Focus on a project at a time. So I'm not like, oh, look it, I started this, and then months go by and you never get to see the finished item that I made because I never finished it yet. It's still sitting in a project bag somewhere. Like, I love Laura at Mad Mimi's Crochet. She has the whip bag rotation, and her devil gets to pick which one she works on next. I love that idea because whether she wants to or not, that project is getting worked on and it's getting completed. And she has something to show for it, you know. A couple of the projects I have sitting in project bags, I don't know if I want to even finish them, to be honest. I'm still determining that in my head, so we shall see as far as that goes. But anyways, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. I hope your New Year's was fantastic. There are going to be some big changes this year regarding some family members, so I will share more of that in a later video. In the meantime, keep crocheting, sewing, crafting, whatever your hobby is. Enjoy it, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Alaska Crafty Gal Victoria here. Bye-bye.